going on Twitter, before it reaches the criminal threshold, that kind of material, we saw that vile material used by individuals like Anjuman Chowdhury, vile extremists inspired by Daesh al-Qaeda. We saw it with another far-right extremism, Tommy Robinson. His material led to the terrorist attack in Finsbury Park, the Osborne case. So what we now have is, how do you get these social media companies? Because they will probably say, we have a code. Yes, but what are you doing to ensure that that material doesn't go on that in the first place and ensure that these individuals are kept off that?
But even if they're trying 24 hours a day to take this material down, how do they keep pace with it? And that's before we even start talking about the dark web.
Well, I think what we have is, when you talk about the dark web, you've got to look at two things here. 4chan, 8chan is where this individual who posted his extremist ideology, and they shared material on that. So the real issue is, when we live in an interconnected world, I know the previous Home Secretary, Amber Rudd, was in the United States working with them to ensure that we can get this kind of material before it comes on to the internet. And one thing that is, internet providers at the moment use they don't use the eye, they use artificial intelligence and other means. And that's what we have to be greater at. And also, not just the internet, I think in society overall, the government's put up Prevent and Channel. And what we now have to do, everyone has a responsibility at every level. Whenever you see something which you think could incite hatred, then we have to challenge it, counter it at every level.
How far should regulation go? Because, of course, then you get into the territory of what's freedom of speech. You don't want to clamp down on that, but then at the same time you don't want to give oxygen to extremism.
Well, look, the first thing I would say is the first duty of the state is to protect your citizens. And now we have, quite clearly seen here that the threat is maintained by individuals who are being sucked in to extremism, whether it's Daesh-inspired, whether it's Al-Qaeda-inspired, or it's far-right extremism. The government banned national action, rightly so, and they took that appropriate action. However, that is not enough. Every day we're getting material online which is sucking in British individuals into this poison ideology and individuals around the world. So I would say, do whatever you have to do. Of course, I say we have freedom of speech, but at the same time, we have regulations put into play, into law, to say that we'll challenge religious hatred incidents and those who incite it. So therefore, I would say we have to do everything we possibly can. And one thing which I would say, where the government has got it exceptionally right, MI5 last year said, rather than this being a police matter, the far-right extremism is a key priority for our intelligence services, who do a great job. But I would say, do whatever you have to do to ensure that this kind of material is taken off, because it's a real threat to our society and also to our country.
Raymond Chishti, MP, thank you.
Thank you very much.